Do you ever find yourself really wanting things to go a certain way? Maybe you want a particular job, or you want someone to like you back. It's normal to have desires and hopes, but sometimes holding on too tightly can bring stress and disappointment. That's where the law of detachment comes in. It's a concept that suggests it's better for our well-being to loosen our grip on outcomes and let things flow more naturally. Instead of obsessing over a specific result, we learn to accept whatever happens with an open mind. This rule doesn't mean you should stop caring or giving up on your dreams. It's more about realizing that not everything goes exactly as planned. You're encouraged to try your best and then let go of the outcome. Trust that whatever happens is probably for the best in the long run. Following this idea can make you feel calmer and freer, helping you handle life's ups and downs with grace. Now, let's take a closer look at this idea and see how you can use it in your own life. First, knowing the law of detachment. Understanding the law of detachment means learning to let go of wanting things to turn out a certain way and feeling okay with not knowing exactly what will happen. It's not about not caring or being lazy. It's about realizing you can't control everything and being okay with that. Even though it might sound tricky, grasping this idea can really change how you see things. The law of detachment is kind of like the law of attraction, but they're different. The law of attraction is about imagining and working toward what you want, while the law of detachment is about not being stuck on specific outcomes. It doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It's about not being too stuck on exactly how things have to happen. Go after what you want with all your heart, but don't get too hung up on exactly how it has to turn out. This idea encourages living in the present moment and fully experiencing life as it is, not just how you wish it would be. Seeing uncertainty as a chance to learn and grow, rather than something to worry about, is a big part of it. It's about making peace with not knowing everything. If you understand and use the law of detachment, it can make your life more satisfying and less stressful. It helps you bounce back from setbacks because you're not so attached to things going a certain way. But it doesn't mean just sitting back and letting life happen to you. You're still actively shaping your life, but with a sense of calm and acceptance. The law of detachment is a deep idea, but it's something anyone can get into if they're willing to embrace not always having control. It's about finding a middle ground between going after what you want and being okay with whatever happens. Next, origins of the law of detachment. Understanding the law of detachment means knowing it has deep roots in ancient philosophies and spiritual beliefs. This idea comes from Eastern traditions like Buddhism and Hinduism. In Buddhism, they say attachment causes suffering. So, letting go of attachments is a big part of reaching nirvana, which is like the ultimate peace. Hinduism also talks about detachment, calling it vairagya, which means not being too attached to things. It's seen as important for finding spiritual freedom. Ancient Greek philosophers, such as the Stoics, pondered the idea of detachment long before our time. They believed that avoiding excessive desire could lead to a calm and tranquil mind. The Stoics taught that by not becoming too entangled in our wants and desires, we could achieve a sense of inner peace. They suggested that excessive attachment to material possessions, status, or outcomes could lead to turmoil and unrest within the mind. According to Stoic philosophy, true happiness and tranquility come from accepting things as they are, rather than constantly striving for more or becoming upset when things don't go our way. By practicing detachment from desires and external outcomes, individuals could cultivate a state of mental equanimity and serenity. For the Stoics, detachment was not about renouncing all desires or pleasures, but rather about developing a healthy relationship with them. It involved recognizing that external circumstances are beyond our control, and that true contentment comes from within, rather than from external sources. In modern times, the concept of detachment has found its way into self-help and personal development circles. This idea suggests that detaching oneself from outcomes and situations can have positive effects on mental and emotional well-being. Detachment involves not getting overly attached to how things unfold. Instead, It encourages embracing different possibilities without being too invested in a particular outcome. By adopting a more detached perspective, individuals may experience greater emotional stability and happiness. Advocates of detachment argue that when we are less fixated on specific results, we become more adaptable to change and less prone to disappointment. Rather than feeling distressed when things don't go as planned, detached individuals can navigate setbacks more gracefully and with less emotional turmoil. Moreover, detachment encourages mindfulness and present moment awareness. By focusing on the here and now, rather than worrying about future outcomes, individuals can cultivate a sense of inner peace and tranquility. Next, the law of detachment and spirituality. On your journey to find peace and meaning, the law of detachment can be a really helpful tool. This idea comes from ancient Eastern ways of thinking, and it's all about how letting go can actually help you grow and discover more about yourself. The law of detachment isn't about giving up on what you want or not caring about anything. Instead, it's about not getting too stuck on exactly how things have to turn out. It's like opening yourself up to all the different ways life can surprise you. Instead of holding tightly to a specific plan, you're letting life happen in its own way and time. For instance, let's say you really want to feel calm inside. That's a great goal. But if you're too attached to the idea that it has to happen exactly the way you think it should, you might miss out on other ways to find peace. When things don't go exactly as you planned, it can make you feel disappointed and like you've failed. The law of detachment offers a fresh perspective on achieving our desires while maintaining a sense of openness and flexibility. Instead of fixating on precisely how things must unfold, this principle encourages us to remain focused on our goals while being adaptable to various possibilities. When we follow the law of detachment, we are still clear about what we want to achieve, but we release the tight grip on specific outcomes. This approach allows us to embrace a more open-minded attitude, enabling us to explore different paths and solutions to reach our objectives. By practicing detachment, we become more grounded in the present moment. Rather than getting lost in fantasies or wishful thinking about how things should be, we develop a keen awareness of reality. This heightened awareness empowers us to see situations as they truly are, rather than through the lens of our desires or expectations. Next, common misinterpretations. Some people might think that the law of detachment means you should stop caring about things or become indifferent, but that's not quite right. It's important to understand that it's not about being uncaring or giving up on what you want. Instead, it's about making sure that your desires or goals don't stress you out too much. A common mistake is thinking that detachment means you shouldn't care about what happens in the end, but actually it's more about focusing on what you're doing right now and not worrying too much about what might happen later. It's about finding joy in the journey itself and having a healthier mindset that can lead to success without all the extra stress. There's a common misconception surrounding the law of detachment, that it advocates for passivity or inaction. However, this belief couldn't be further from the truth. Instead, the essence of the law of detachment lies in striking a harmonious balance between taking purposeful action and maintaining a sense of detachment from the outcomes. It's important to understand that the law of detachment does not promote idleness or complacency. Rather, it encourages us to take decisive steps towards our goals while letting go of excessive attachment to specific results. This balanced approach allows us to stay focused on our intentions without becoming consumed by anxiety or fear about the outcome. When we embrace the law of detachment, we engage in mindful action. We take deliberate steps towards our goals, but we do so with a sense of openness and flexibility. Instead of being rigidly attached to a particular outcome, we remain receptive to the opportunities and possibilities that may arise along the way. By practicing detachment, we free ourselves from the burden of excessive worry or control. We understand that while we can influence the direction of our lives through our actions, there are certain factors beyond our control. Rather than trying to force outcomes to conform to our expectations, we trust in the natural flow of life and remain adaptable to whatever unfolds. It's essential to recognize that finding balance is key. We mustn't swing to the extremes of either relentless striving or passive acceptance. Instead, we aim to cultivate a middle ground where we take inspired action towards our goals while maintaining a sense of detachment from the outcome. So, in simple terms, the law of detachment is about finding a way to go after what you want without feeling overwhelmed or stressed about it. It's about finding peace in the midst of your efforts and being okay with whatever happens in the end. Next, detachment versus indifference. Let's take a look at the difference between detachment and indifference. Although they both involve not getting too caught up in emotions, they're actually quite different in their meanings and effects. Detachment is a mindful choice to step back from getting too emotionally involved. It's like watching a situation without letting your feelings take over. It doesn't mean you don't have emotions. It's more about not letting them control how you react. You're still paying attention and participating, but you're not letting your emotions drive your actions. Detachment involves caring about something but consciously choosing not to let emotions overwhelm us. It's about maintaining a healthy distance from outcomes and situations, allowing us to stay calm and composed even in the face of challenges. Detachment acknowledges our emotions but empowers us to navigate them with clarity and wisdom. On the other hand, indifference is when you just don't care at all. It's like having no interest, concern, or sympathy about what's happening. Unlike detachment, where you do care but choose not to let your emotions take over, indifference is when you're just emotionally disconnected and unresponsive. Detachment is a conscious decision to maintain emotional balance, whereas indifference stems from a deeper sense of disengagement or numbness. While detachment allows us to respond to situations with wisdom and discernment, indifference can lead to a state of emotional numbness, where we become disconnected from the world around us. It's important to recognize the distinction between detachment and indifference in our daily lives. While detachment can be a healthy coping mechanism, helping us navigate life's ups and downs with resilience, indifference can hinder our ability to connect with others and experience genuine empathy. So, detachment is a mindful choice to not let emotions run the show. It helps you grow and understand things better because you're not reacting emotionally all the time. It lets you engage with life in a more balanced way. But indifference is different. It stops growth and leads to feeling disconnected from life. It's when you just don't care about anything, and that can make you feel pretty disconnected. Understanding this difference is important for your emotional well-being and mindfulness. Detachment isn't about not caring. It's about finding a balance and clarity in your emotions. It's not about ignoring how you feel, but not letting those feelings control what you do. Next, key principles of detachment. Understanding detachment can be a game changer, altering the lens through which we perceive the world and enhancing our quality of life. Contrary to popular belief, detachment doesn't entail apathy or indifference towards the world around us. Instead, it involves loosening the grip of our desires and fears, allowing us to navigate life with greater clarity and freedom. Detachment doesn't mean abandoning care or concern for others. Rather, it means cultivating a healthy relationship with our desires and fears. When we detach ourselves from the incessant pull of our wants and anxieties, we reclaim control over our lives. No longer are we slaves to the whims of fleeting desires, or consumed by irrational fears. By understanding detachment, we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without being enslaved by them. We acknowledge their presence without allowing them to dictate our actions or dictate our happiness. This newfound sense of freedom empowers us to make choices based on wisdom rather than impulsivity, leading to more fulfilling and purposeful lives. Detachment doesn't mean being alone. It means you can be with others without losing who you are. You keep your own identity while still being connected to people. Next, detachment in the workplace. You've probably heard about the law of detachment in the context of personal relationships. But did you know that bringing this concept into your work life can lead to significant benefits? By embracing detachment in your professional endeavors, you can unlock new levels of creativity, foster innovation, and improve your overall performance in unexpected ways. Being detached at work doesn't mean you don't care about your job. Instead, it means not getting too stuck on one specific way things should turn out. That can make it easier to make good decisions and find different ways to solve problems. At work, you might face challenges like wanting a promotion or dealing with a tough coworker. Instead of getting too focused on exactly how you want things to happen, it's better to concentrate on doing your best work and showing that you're dedicated. This way of thinking helps you stay flexible and open to different possibilities, instead of being stuck on just one thing. Imagine a project that's not going the way you planned. It might feel natural to try to control every detail to make sure it works out, but that can make you stressed and tired, and it might not even work. By being detached, you can step back, look at the situation without emotions getting in the way, and figure out new ways to make it work. This mindset shift can have profound effects on your work performance. By letting go of the need for immediate results or perfection, you create space for creativity to flourish. You're more open to experimentation and innovation, allowing new ideas to emerge and thrive. Moreover, embracing detachment can enhance your problem-solving abilities. When you're not overly invested in a particular solution, you're more willing to consider alternative approaches and think outside the box. This adaptive mindset enables you to overcome obstacles more effectively and find novel solutions to complex challenges. But perhaps the most significant benefit of applying the law of detachment in your work life is the reduction of stress and anxiety. When you release the pressure of constantly striving for a specific outcome, you experience greater peace of mind and mental clarity. You're able to focus more fully on the task at hand, leading to improved productivity and job satisfaction. Next, the art of letting go. To really get good at letting go, you need to learn how to stop holding on to the past and be okay with not knowing what's coming in the future. It might sound easy, but it's actually pretty complicated. You have to understand your feelings, how you react to things, and why you get attached to stuff in the first place. Letting go means making a choice to stop carrying around all the stuff that's dragging you down. But to do that, you've got to face it head on. You need to look back at your past, admit when you've messed up, and be okay with the things that didn't go the way you wanted. This is important because it helps you heal and move forward. It's also crucial to know that letting go doesn't mean forgetting about what happened or pretending it didn't matter. It's about learning from what you've been through and using it to make yourself better. It means getting rid of the bad feelings that tie you down and being excited about what could happen next. Letting go can be challenging, but with practice and patience, it's a skill that can transform your life. The law of detachment teaches us the importance of releasing our attachment to outcomes and embracing a mindset of openness and acceptance. While it may take time to master, the benefits that come from letting go are truly invaluable. When we practice letting go, we cultivate resilience in the face of adversity. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, but by relinquishing our need for control, we become better equipped to bounce back from setbacks and challenges. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, we focus on finding solutions and moving forward with grace and determination. Moreover, letting go is essential for maintaining a healthy mind. When we hold on to past hurts, regrets, or anxieties about the future, we create unnecessary mental clutter that weighs us down. By releasing these burdens, we free ourselves from the grip of negative emotions and experience greater peace and clarity of mind. Letting go also allows us to experience a sense of inner freedom and peace. When we're not constantly tethered to our desires or fears, we open ourselves up to the beauty and possibility of the present moment. We learn to appreciate life as it unfolds, without getting caught up in expectations or regrets. But mastering the art of letting go is an ongoing journey, not a destination. It requires practice and patience, as well as a willingness to embrace the discomfort that comes with change. However, the rewards that come from letting go are well worth the effort. Next, applying the law in relationship. When it comes to your relationships, using the law of detachment can help them grow and be healthy. This idea comes from Buddhist beliefs, and it's about accepting things without getting too caught up in your emotions. It means understanding that you can't control everything, including what your partner does or feels. Instead of trying to control them, you focus on how you react and feel. Following this law doesn't mean you stop loving or caring about your partner. It's about giving each other space to be yourselves. It's like changing from being clingy or wanting to own someone to loving them in a way that's free, respectful, and lets them have their own space. By not holding on too tightly to how you want things to be, you can enjoy your relationship more and worry less about losing it. To use this law, it's important to know the difference between being attached and loving someone. Being attached means having lots of expectations and demands, which can cause problems. But love is about celebrating each other's differences and letting each other be free. By being detached, you respect both your needs and your partner's, and that helps your relationship grow stronger. In relationships, practicing detachment doesn't mean shutting off emotions or disconnecting from your partner. Instead, it's about being fully present, attentive, and open to change. It involves acknowledging your feelings without letting them dictate your actions, fostering honest communication, and being adaptable to the evolving dynamics of the relationship. When you practice detachment in your relationship, you remain engaged and attentive to your partner's needs and emotions. You listen with empathy and understanding, creating a space where both partners feel heard and valued. By staying present in the moment, you cultivate a deeper connection and intimacy with your partner. Moreover, practicing detachment means accepting your emotions without allowing them to control your behavior. Instead of reacting impulsively based on fleeting feelings, you respond thoughtfully and intentionally. This mindfulness allows you to navigate conflicts and challenges with grace and compassion, fostering mutual respect and trust in the relationship. In a detached relationship, communication is key. Both partners communicate openly and honestly, expressing their thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment or blame. By fostering a culture of transparency and vulnerability, you create a strong foundation for growth and understanding within the relationship. Furthermore, practicing detachment requires a willingness to adapt and change when necessary. Relationships are dynamic and ever-evolving, and being attached to specific outcomes can hinder growth and progress. Instead, embrace flexibility and openness to new possibilities, allowing the relationship to evolve organically over time. Getting good at this takes time and practice, but it's worth it. Your relationships will be healthier, happier, and more real with love, respect, and understanding. Next, Law of Detachment and Personal Growth. In your journey of growing as a person, understanding and practicing the law of detachment can really help you. This idea suggests that you should chase your dreams without getting too stuck on exactly how things turn out. It's like finding a balance between working hard and letting things happen naturally instead of always trying to control everything. Let's think about it this way. When you're too focused on one specific outcome, it can make you really anxious and stressed. This not only makes it hard to make good choices, but it can also stop you from appreciating what you've already achieved because you're always thinking about what's next. On the other hand, practicing detachment means being more aware of how life changes all the time and being okay with that. In the journey of personal growth, understanding the law of detachment is key to achieving balance and resilience. Contrary to common misconceptions, detachment doesn't imply apathy or resignation. Rather, it's a powerful tool for embracing change, fostering resilience, and achieving personal fulfillment. detachment doesn't mean abandoning your goals or responsibilities. It's not about giving up when faced with challenges or uncertainties. Instead, it's about adopting a mindset of openness and flexibility, allowing you to adapt and grow in the face of adversity. When you practice detachment in your personal growth journey, you remain committed to your aspirations while remaining open to alternative paths and possibilities. You understand that setbacks and obstacles are natural parts of the process, and you're willing to learn and adjust along the way. Moreover, detachment enables you to stay grounded and maintain balance amidst life's ups and downs. Instead of being consumed by fear or anxiety about the future, you cultivate a sense of inner strength and resilience. You trust in your ability to navigate challenges with grace and composure, knowing that you have the capacity to overcome whatever obstacles may arise. Detachment also fosters a willingness to embrace change and uncertainty. Instead of clinging to rigid expectations or outcomes, you remain open to the unknown, allowing yourself to grow and evolve in unexpected ways. This flexibility enables you to seize opportunities and explore new avenues for personal development. In the end, embracing the law of detachment helps you grow as a person. It makes you more aware of yourself, helps you bounce back when things don't go as planned, and lets you adapt to whatever comes your way. It's about having a healthier relationship with your goals, where your worth isn't just tied to whether you succeed or fail. Next, letting go of expectations. As you work on becoming more detached, it's really important to also work on letting go of your expectations. Expecting specific things to happen can often lead to feeling disappointed and frustrated when they don't turn out the way you wanted. Holding tightly to certain outcomes can even make you feel really upset. In our journey of personal growth, we often find ourselves grappling with expectations of ourselves, others, and the outcomes of our actions. These expectations can weigh us down, leading to stress, frustration, and disappointment when things don't unfold as we envisioned. However, by incorporating the law of detachment into our lives, we can learn to release these expectations and embrace a mindset of flexibility and acceptance. Detachment doesn't mean giving up on our goals or relinquishing our responsibilities. Instead, it encourages us to be open to different paths and outcomes, recognizing that life is full of uncertainties and surprises. When we practice detachment, we cultivate a sense of resilience and adaptability, allowing us to navigate life's twists and turns with grace and ease. Letting go of expectations doesn't imply indifference or complacency. Rather, it involves acknowledging that we cannot control every aspect of our lives and learning to surrender to the flow of events. By relinquishing our attachment to specific outcomes, we free ourselves from the burden of constant worry and anxiety, opening up space for creativity, spontaneity, and joy. When we practice detachment, we become more flexible and adaptable in the face of change. Instead of rigidly clinging to our plans, we remain open to different possibilities and opportunities that may arise. This flexibility enables us to seize new experiences and growth opportunities, even in the midst of uncertainty. Moreover, letting go of expectations fosters a deeper sense of inner peace and contentment. When we release the need for things to unfold exactly as we imagined, we experience greater freedom and liberation. We learn to appreciate each moment for what it is, rather than longing for what could have been. Now, letting go of expectations doesn't mean you stop caring about what happens. It's more about understanding that the future is always uncertain, and it's more helpful to focus on the steps you're taking rather than worrying too much about what you want the end result to be. This change in how you look at things can help you grow personally and be stronger when you face tough times. It's important to know the difference between having aspirations and having expectations. Aspirations are like the goals you aim for, things you want to achieve. Expectations, on the other hand, are rigid ideas about how things should turn out. When you have expectations, you're trying to control the future, which doesn't usually work out well. By letting go of this need to control everything, You can live more fully and be more creative in how you deal with life's ups and downs. But letting go of expectations isn't easy. It takes a lot of looking inside yourself, understanding where those expectations come from, and actively deciding to let them go. It's a journey where you learn to be okay with not always knowing what's going to happen and accepting that you can't control everything in life. Next, detachment, a pathway to peace. As you dig deeper into the idea of detachment, you'll see it's more than just a way to grow personally. It can actually lead you to a place of peace. When you practice detachment, you start feeling really calm. It's like untangling yourself from all the ups and downs of life, so you're not constantly bouncing between feeling happy and feeling upset. Instead, you find a peaceful center inside you that stays steady no matter what's going on around you. Detachment is kind of like being really mindful. It means watching your feelings, thoughts, and experiences without letting them overwhelm you. You're not ignoring what's happening to you. You're just watching without getting all caught up in it, which helps you stay balanced inside. Research has shown that practicing detachment through mindfulness techniques can have profound effects on our mental and emotional well-being. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment, allowing us to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. By cultivating this awareness, individuals can learn to respond to stresses with greater calmness and clarity rather than reacting impulsively out of fear or anxiety. Studies have also demonstrated that detachment practices can reduce activity in the brain's stress response system, leading to decreased levels of cortisol, the hormone associated with stress. By calming the nervous system and promoting relaxation, detachment techniques create a physiological state conducive to peace and serenity. Furthermore, detachment fosters a sense of acceptance and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Instead of resisting or fighting against difficult circumstances, individuals learn to surrender to the flow of life and trust in their ability to navigate adversity with grace and strength. But it's important to know that being detached doesn't mean you stop caring or stop feeling things. It's not about disconnecting from life. It's about having a healthy relationship with it. You're still involved in everything that happens, but you're not suffering because you're not holding on to things too tightly. Instead, you accept that life is always changing, and some things are beyond your control. This kind of acceptance brings a deep inner peace, but finding peace isn't the end of the road. It's just the start of more growth. Next, cultivating detachment in daily life. In your everyday life, stress can often feel overwhelming. However, learning to cultivate emotional detachment through the law of detachment can be a valuable tool for maintaining inner peace and resilience. Contrary to popular belief, emotional detachment is not about shutting down emotions or disregarding them altogether. Instead, it's about developing the ability to remain calm and in control, even amidst challenging circumstances. Emotional detachment involves stepping back from our feelings and observing them without becoming overwhelmed or consumed by them. It's like watching the waves of emotion from the shore, rather than getting swept away in the tide. By creating this space between ourselves and our emotions, we gain a sense of clarity and perspective, allowing us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Practicing emotional detachment doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. Instead, it's about acknowledging our feelings without allowing them to dictate our actions or overwhelm us. When faced with a stressful situation, rather than reacting out of fear or frustration, we can take a step back, observe our emotions with curiosity and compassion, and then choose how to respond in a way that aligns with our values and goals. To get better at this, you can start with mindfulness. Pay close attention to what you're thinking, feeling, and how you react to things. By being aware of your emotions, you can start practicing detachment. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It means not letting them run your whole day. Another thing to practice is not judging your emotions. When you feel something, don't automatically think it's good or bad. Just notice it, watch it, and let it go without feeling like you have to do something about it right away. As you keep doing this, you'll find that you don't react as strongly to things that used to upset you, and you'll feel more balanced emotionally. But it's important to understand that being emotionally detached doesn't mean you stop caring about the people and things in your life. You can still love and care deeply while also keeping your emotions in check. It's about being present without getting overwhelmed by your feelings. Learning to be emotionally detached is something you have to keep working on. It's not something you can just achieve and be done with. It takes practice and patience. But the benefits, like feeling less stressed, making better decisions, and having better relationships, make it worth the effort. So why not start practicing today? Try some mindful breathing, watch your emotions without judgment, and keep practicing. You'll see a positive change in how you feel before you know it. Next, the law and emotional resilience. In our journey towards emotional resilience, understanding and embracing the law of detachment can be a game changer. This principle emphasizes the importance of releasing our attachment to specific outcomes, freeing our minds from the weight of expectations, fears, and disappointments. Embracing the law of detachment allows us to build emotional strength and resilience. By letting go of the need for things to unfold exactly as we hoped, we create space for peace of mind and mental clarity. Instead of being consumed by worries or fears, we're able to face challenges with courage and grace, knowing that we have the inner resources to navigate whatever comes our way. In our daily lives, cultivating detachment means being able to stay calm and composed, even when things don't go according to plan. It's about finding peace in the present moment and trusting in our ability to adapt and overcome obstacles. By embracing the law of detachment, we can build a foundation of emotional resilience that empowers us to thrive in the face of adversity. By practicing detachment, you learn to let go of trying to control things that are out of your hands. This is a big part of being emotionally strong because it helps you bounce back when things get tough and stay calm even when life is unpredictable. Instead of being tossed around by whatever happens, you gain some control over how you feel inside, which really helps to keep you from getting too upset. To understand and use this idea, you need to spend time thinking about your emotions and practicing being detached. It's about being aware of how you feel without letting those feelings make you react in a way you might regret later. As you keep doing this, you'll find that you're less easily upset, more able to handle whatever comes your way, and better at staying steady emotionally. Next, detachment and material possessions. Let's take a look at how your connection to your stuff can affect your emotions, and how detachment can help lighten that load. Think about how you feel about your belongings. Maybe you've noticed that the more you care about something, the more worried you get about losing it. This worry can make you feel stressed and anxious. The law of detachment suggests that if you can let go of some of that strong attachment to your things, it can help you feel better. In a world that often equates success with material wealth, it can be challenging to navigate our relationship with possessions. However, understanding and embracing the law of detachment can offer us a fresh perspective on our belongings. Contrary to popular belief, detachment doesn't mean we stop caring about our possessions altogether. Rather, it encourages us to find a healthy balance between enjoyment and attachment. You might wonder how it's possible to care less about your belongings when society often glorifies the accumulation of material wealth. But the key lies in recognizing the difference between using our possessions and being overly attached to them. While it's natural to derive pleasure from our belongings, true happiness doesn't come from the accumulation of stuff. Embracing the law of detachment means learning to enjoy and appreciate our possessions without feeling like we need them to define our happiness or worth. It's about recognizing that our value as individuals isn't tied to the things we own, but rather to our inner qualities and relationships. When we detach ourselves from excessive attachment to material possessions, we free ourselves from the pressure to constantly acquire more stuff. Instead of chasing after the latest gadgets or trends, we learn to find contentment in what we already have. This mindset shift allows us to cultivate gratitude and appreciation for the things that truly matter in life. Moreover, detachment from material possessions fosters a sense of freedom and liberation. When we're not weighed down by the burden of excess stuff, we have more time, energy, and resources to invest in experiences and relationships that bring us genuine joy and fulfillment. So, how can you start doing this? First, try to remember that your things won't last forever. They might get lost, stolen, or just become outdated. Understanding that they won't be around forever can help you not feel so tied to them. Next, the Law of Detachment and Health. Let's talk about how letting go of emotional attachment to your possessions can help you feel more peaceful inside. But did you know that applying this same idea to your health could also make you feel better physically? This concept comes from ancient Eastern beliefs, and it suggests that when you stop worrying so much about what might happen, you might actually start feeling healthier in unexpected ways. When it comes to your health, embracing the law of detachment doesn't mean disregarding your well-being or dismissing symptoms. Rather, it's about adopting a mindset of flexibility, acceptance, and resilience in the face of health challenges. By staying open to different possibilities and maintaining a calm demeanor, you can navigate health issues with greater ease and grace. Detaching from health concerns doesn't imply ignoring how you feel or pretending that symptoms don't matter. It's about acknowledging your symptoms and seeking appropriate care, while also recognizing that worrying excessively won't necessarily make them go away. Instead of fixating on every ache or pain, you learn to deal with them calmly, knowing that they are temporary and manageable. Embracing the law of detachment in relation to health involves being open to different outcomes and treatment options. It means understanding that healing is a journey with ups and downs, and that progress may not always be linear. By staying flexible and adaptable, you can explore various approaches to wellness and find what works best for you. Moreover, detaching from health concerns can reduce stress and anxiety, which are known to have detrimental effects on overall well-being. When you let go of the need to control every aspect of your health, you create space for relaxation and peace of mind. This, in turn, can have positive effects on your physical health, as stress is a known contributor to a variety of health conditions. It's also about not getting too stuck on specific health goals. Sure, it's good to have things you want to achieve for your health, but if you get too attached to them, it can actually stress you out and make you feel disappointed if things don't go as planned. By practicing detachment, you can work towards your health goals without feeling so upset if things don't work out exactly how you hoped. Plus, when you let go of all the worries about your health, you're more likely to make smart decisions based on what makes sense, rather than just reacting emotionally. This can lead to healthier habits and behaviors overall, which is great for your physical well-being. Next, the law of detachment, myths debunked. Let's talk about some misunderstandings people often have about the law of detachment and clear them up. First off, many people think that being detached means you don't care about anything, that you're indifferent. But that's not true at all. Detachment is about accepting things the way they are without letting your emotions take over and cloud your judgment. Another big myth is that detachment means you'll be all alone. Some people worry that if you detach, you'll end up cutting yourself off from others. But really, detachment is about being aware of your feelings and staying present. It's not about putting up emotional walls. It's about knowing when to keep a healthy distance. Some people also think that if you're detached, you won't have any ambition or goals. But that's not right either. Detachment doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means going after them without being too hung up on exactly how things turn out. It's more about enjoying the journey than stressing over the destination. Another myth is that being detached means you're weak. Actually, it takes a lot of strength and self-awareness to detach yourself from situations or emotions. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being emotionally smart and resilient. Lastly, some people think that detachment is a one-size-fits-all solution, but that's not true either. Everyone's journey with detachment is different, and it's important to find what works best for you. By clearing up these misunderstandings, you're getting closer to understanding what the law of detachment is really about. It's not about being indifferent or isolating yourself. It's about finding balance, accepting things as they are, and being emotionally flexible, while still caring about what matters to you. Next, detachment in modern psychology. As you journey through the world of modern psychology, you'll discover just how important detachment is in many different kinds of therapy. Learning to detach can give you the power to step back from tough situations and not let them overwhelm you. It's not about ignoring your feelings or pretending they don't exist. Instead, it's about looking at them calmly without immediately reacting. Detachment plays a significant role in a popular form of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. This therapy method helps individuals observe their thoughts and feelings from a distance, offering them a clearer perspective on their inner experiences. In CBT, detachment doesn't mean ignoring emotions or disconnecting from them. Instead, it involves stepping back from our thoughts and feelings, creating a space to examine them objectively. This distance allows us to recognize when our thoughts are becoming negative or unhelpful. By observing our thoughts from a distance, we can spot patterns of negative thinking before they spiral out of control. This awareness empowers us to challenge and change our thoughts, replacing them with more positive and constructive ones. In this way, detachment serves as a tool for managing our mental well-being and promoting healthier thought patterns. CBT teaches us practical strategies for implementing detachment in our daily lives. Through techniques like cognitive restructuring and mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts without judgment, fostering a greater sense of control over our mental processes. This, in turn, can lead to reduced stress, anxiety, and depression as we develop the skills to navigate our inner world with clarity and resilience. Detachment is also a big part of mindfulness-based therapies. In these therapies, you're encouraged to see your thoughts and feelings as things that come and go, not permanent parts of who you are. This way of looking at things can help you feel less anxious and more stable emotionally. But it's important to remember that detachment isn't always a good thing. Sometimes, if you detach too much, you can end up feeling like you're not connected to your emotions or to the world around you. This can be a problem, and it's something therapists keep an eye on. So, if you're trying to learn to detach, it's a good idea to do it with help from someone who knows what they're doing. Lastly, implementing detachment. Now that we've talked about some misunderstandings, let's look at 5 simple steps you can take to put the law of detachment into action in your everyday life. First, take a good look at your attachments. Start by thinking about your life and figuring out where you might be holding on too tightly to things or people. Maybe it's relationships, stuff you own, or specific things you really want to happen. Second, figure out why you're attached. Try to understand why you're so attached to these things. Sometimes it's because you're afraid of losing something, or you feel like you need certain things to be happy. Knowing why you're attached is important for being able to let go. Third, make a decision to let go. Decide that you want to loosen your grip on your attachments. It can be hard, but it's an important step for growing as a person. Acknowledge that holding on to things too tightly can hold you back, and choose to loosen your grip. Fourth, practice being mindful. Try to focus on what's happening right now instead of worrying about the past or the future. This can help you let go of some of the things you're attached to and feel more content with what you have. Fifth, take it slow. Remember that learning to detach is a process that takes time. Start with small things, like letting go of little annoyances or not relying so much on material possessions. The law of detachment isn't about not caring. It's about freeing yourself from being too tied to things, which can make life more peaceful. Some people might think that detaching means you stop caring, but really it's about letting go of the need to control everything and finding peace. Detachment isn't just a spiritual or psychological idea, it's also something that can help you manage stress better. And it doesn't mean you give up on your dreams. It means you're open to whatever comes your way and you trust that things will work out. Thank you for listening.